Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure... Oh, it seems that some of...
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And... you?
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bar... Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something...
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map.
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted...
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little... Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may... The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually,
Stop wasting time, child. You remember the agreement, Morox. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking...
The contract is fulfilled.
How sanctimonious.
What? So, no, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but what?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big...
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over.
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept until one drizzly day. As I was strolling along the harbor, I stood motionless among the crowds, asking my...
Oh, Zhong...
But as I began to consider relinquishing my was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the... Indeed I was. The Gnosis, which I had kept for so many years, suddenly seemed to... That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine...
Of course. And it would have been all too easy for him. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, credit is also due to Senora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This, despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti. To come to the they seize the opportunity to supplant Liyue as divine protectors.
Huh? That doesn't sound good.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent.
Hey, what about me?
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this. Wreaking havoc and turning the city upside... If you hadn't created the
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call...
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession...
Fine. I'll meet you there.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trick.
Realistically speaking, there...
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made count. My agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance, uncover that answer for yourself in your...